no matter how many flowers I grow in our tiny cottage garden, there's another plant that changed my life and saved my sanity this year. And I'm talking about Coleus. This is my first year growing Coleus ever, and I couldn't believe how easy it is to grow from seed. Yes, it's very true that I sowed my Coleus early on in January, and for this you need some grow lights, and I used my seedling station, which is in my bedroom actually. And this is a win-win-win situation. First, it gives you something to do early on in January, where a garden like mine in Zone 6 in Romania is dormant. Secondly, and it's something that I never anticipated, the seedlings have colorful leaves even when they are half an inch long. They are super cute. And that's why I'm saying that Coleus saved my sanity, because in the middle of winter they gave me color, they gave me leaves, and they gave me new hope. Because I'm a tropical creature by nature and I need warmth and sunshine to be alive, just like a flower. All of my Coleus seeds germinated. It was 100% germination rate. Awesome stuff. And 4 months later, the seedlings were big enough for me to transplant them into the garden. So for the price of one seed packet, I've got all of this and even more. And if I had to buy these many plants to put it in here and all around the place, I would have went bankrupt. Because, at least in my country, Coleus is very expensive, especially for an annual. And why do I need to use so many plants of Coleus? Well, because here in our tiny cottage and its garden, there's shade everywhere. Take this little front yard, for example. It's all shaded by this beautiful willow tree of ours. And there's increasingly more shade, especially on the tiny spaces all around the tiny cottage, because all of the neighboring trees grew bigger and bigger since I came here, which is a problem you want to have. I'm not complaining, but it gets shadier and shadier. And why don't I grow shade perennials? But I am growing shade perennials. I've got my hostas, my Japanese painted ferns, my heucheras, and my carex, evergreen. But first, perennials take a long time to grow and to get established. And secondly, this is not our property. We are renting this space. And so I need to be budget savvy and to resort to lots and lots of sweet shade annuals. Plus, I can't resist a lush plant with tropical leaves. And who knew Coleus makes flowers too? I've been away for 2 weeks and it's full of them. But I will cut them down. I've been super excited about Coleus this year and I've started to make this little episode 3 times already. But now is the time because It's already chilly outside, and the only downside of poor Coleus is that it's not frost resistant. Somewhere around 40 degrees Fahrenheit or 6 degrees Celsius, it dies on you. Just like basil. Basil and Coleus, Coleus and basil. But I swear, as long as I had it in our tiny cottage garden, the summer seemed endless to me, especially since I grew it now for the first time ever. You're not truly a fan of super colored stuff? This is also Coleus from the rainbow mix. And this is also Coleus, but also this is Coleus from the rainbow mix. And this one too. The Coleus grew very fast and very big here in our shade garden. I just planted it, I think, a month and a little bit ago. And the secret to have a bushy Coleus is to pinch the tops all the time. And it does send a lot of lateral shoots. I have already ordered for next year 2 new varieties. One is very dramatic in new colors with red and black, and the other is the Kong, the salmon Kong, with huge leaves. I don't know how huge because these look very tropical and huge to me indeed. And what I would also like is to grow some cascading varieties. However, in my country, in Romania, I couldn't find any. And if you're growing any cascading Coleus, please write to me in the comments your favorite variety. I also bought for the first time some impatiens seeds, and I want to grow impatiens from seeds next year for the first time in my life, so that next year I could plant shade window boxes and shade containers, which cost me zero because I grew everything from seed. I think it's great each year to challenge yourself and try something new. Try growing something new. It will keep you on your toes. And if it works, greatest satisfaction ever! And because I've been so enthusiastic with Coleus in my first year of growing it, I just let it loose. I let it grow as much as possible because I was curious to see its final height. And by the way, all of this is just one plant, and I just pinched it twice, that's all, and she grew this kind of bushy. So the secret to bushy Coleus is pinching. However, big mistake, because all of this Coleus shaded completely my shade perennials. And these perennials had the stunted growth this year because they were in the total shade of the Coleus. From everywhere I made the cuts, you can see new leaves emerging. And here in this planter, where I already cut them 1 week ago, the new growth is lush. Waste not, want not. Take off the lower leaves of our cuttings. We have two choices. Immediately after cutting, sear the ends in hot water for 20 seconds. Then plunge them in cool water for a few hours at least. And use them as beautiful foliage in bouquets. They've got a super long vase life. Or put them in the vase. And in 7 to 8 days, they will have new roots and you can plant them again. Free Coleus! There is a place where I never cut Coleus, and this is in mixed containers, where I am placing my Coleus as the friller. So in this case, the Coleus is the friller, the sweet potato vine is the spiller, and I've got a sweet begonia in here, which is the filler. In this container as well, this is the friller, the Coleus, and this is all just one plant. And for the filler, we've got the beautiful heuchera, which is also perennial in my zone 6 in Romania. I love Coleus. It is excellent for pots and containers because it has very shallow roots. So it's great. You don't need a lot of space and a lot of soil to grow it. So relative to its height, which is quite tall, Coleus has got very shallow roots. It's great for shallow pots. But just as well, you can plant it outside in your garden bed. And the only caveat is to water it every now and then because Coleus does need a little bit of water to survive. Also, you can feed it a little bit of liquid fertilizer. I'm using a general purpose fertilizer for green plants every week or every 2 weeks depending on your mood. Or you can use no fertilizer at all. For example, in here I just started using it 3 weeks ago, so in September, and they grew just fine. And there is a place where I should trim the Coleus, and I don't. It's my favorite shade window box of this year, totally gone wild. Sauvage! In here I combined it with impatiens and with sweet potato vine, the purple variety. I'm not even sorry. I let it go out of control. It obstructs all the light into the house. And I absolutely love it. If you also like the look of Coleus in containers and in window boxes, click here to see how I planted 2 different shade boxes this year with lots of Coleus.